So let's talk about this partnership for a minute. I mean, I've interviewed a couple different partners on this podcast, and what I always realize about partnerships that are successful partnerships is that they're polar opposites. One person is highly analytical, the other person is creative, or the other person is very rigid, and the other person is more lenient. So considering like I'm interviewing you right now, and I kind of say you're a ball of energy, you have this enthusiasm, you're very passionate. What is your partner like, and how does that work with your current chemistry in your business?
So you're absolutely right. There's a great book that you should read called, or anyone that's listening right now, called Rocket Fuel, which really explains this at depth. And generally, it goes down to this concept of visionary versus integrator.
Mhm.
And so your visionary is kind of like your Steve Jobs, right? The guy that's thinking up these crazy ideas. He's the front man of the business. He wants to be able to talk to people, but does he actually have very good management skills? Not really. Does he have good project management skills? Not really. But he can think about where the puck is going to be. I'm Canadian, so I always think about where the puck's going to be. My business partner is really good at thinking up how to be able to build and scale these businesses. So he's really good at figuring out the operations of the business, how the departments interact with each other, the financial aspects of the business. And it doesn't matter, I actually don't really like the terminology of like CEO, COO, CMO, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you had seen recently that Elon Musk called himself Techno King for the SEC filings for Tesla. I think all of these kind of terminologies are ridiculous. I think people should just describe what they do inside of the business.
Mhm.
And I'm the face of the company, think about where the puck is going to be. That's my job. And then my business partner is running all of the operations of the business and making sure that all of the executives inside of the company are doing what they're supposed to be doing,
Wow.
of
Wow.
which I am one, obviously. I do have some interesting conversations with my business partner, but inside of that, there are usually inside of those relationships,
Mhm.
you wouldn't necessarily be friends with that person. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of people have to recognize that to actually build a really fantastic business relationship, you don't necessarily have to be like best friends. Even though Rob is a very good friend of mine, we are just very different people. And accepting that my weaknesses are his strengths and his strengths are my weaknesses are the way that we've built this partnership long term. And more importantly, actually recognizing that we don't get into each other's lane is a really important one as well. So I have a domain that I sit in. He has a domain that he sits in, and we don't push each other's buttons, or we don't get into each other's business, because that fundamentally just slows us down.